Okay, this is our part 2 video about discussing the difference between how we present ourselves online and virtually versus in person. So, one of the things that I'm really big about creating connection through the eyes, whether it's through virtual or in person. So the main thing is again, as I mentioned in the first video, is not being distracted. Like, we need to work on being comfortable in our own skin, having comfortable shoes and undergarments and jewelry and even our eyes. To me, there are things that I feel that create a block between us and another person. So hats being one of them. I was gonna pull one over here, but it would be too much work to get it and put it on. But I feel like hats are a wonderful prop for outdoors or style shoots, or when it's cold outside, being outside, hanging out outside. I would totally hang out with a friend with a hat on if we were outdoors. However, inside or in person, I don't want to create a physical barrier between me and another person. And oftentimes when I'm doing an intuitive or healing session with somebody, or even a coaching session, I'll ask them, do you have to have your eyeglasses on? Because I want to be able to connect with the person. And as far as our image and branding goes, those big caterpillar fake eyelashes, I'm not a fan. I totally get it if, like, you have very few eyelashes and you have kind of just a really natural looking addition to help you to feel like you have fuller lashes. But again, these big fake things that we see in our culture today I think they're very distracting. And I think two white teeth, really super white teeth, can be very distracting and odd looking. Nose hair, you want to make sure you trim your nose hair. Sometimes we as women, we get a little mustache going on, or maybe have, we haven't done our brows and things are kind of crazy up there. So whatever we can, it's the same principle as having a booger in your nose or food in your teeth. We don't want to have that. So I'm going to be your big sister stylist and just say every week, make sure you look in at least a 10x times mirror to just make sure everything's good. And then, after you eat, I'll ask a friend, like, hey, do I have anything in my teeth? Or, you can look in your little hand mirror. And then I go into the esthetician maybe every couple, 6 weeks or so, just have her look, do I have any blackheads around, or blackheads in my ears, or blackheads around my face that I can't see, like around here. I notice I have sometimes we'll get them right here. So we're just kind of able to show up as naturally as we can to make another person feel comfortable. So when I'm doing a coaching session with somebody, in person or even online, I will not wear bright red lipstick. That's distraction, because when that person is I want them to be looking at me, looking in my eyes, not looking at, oh wow, her super sassy red lipstick. And that, that's different if I'm going to a lunch party and it's a dress up event or something. Then we're not necessarily trying to have deep, meaningful, soulful conversations where we're bearing our hearts to one another. Okay, so posture is very important. And I'm sitting up but you see people do this, and that just says I have bad self-esteem. So we want to always have good posture, but in person, I'm very careful how I stand, how I hold my arms. I try to talk with my hands a lot to just kind of be expressive. And it really, when I find my own most expressive self, speaking of the self-love project, I'm going to allow other people to feel comfortable with me. And so I think that's a huge deal. So, not being distracted with your notes and looking down and, you're losing that presence, and you can tell you're afraid, oh my God, I don't know my notes. Go over your notes before your presentation if you're virtual. And in person, and then I covered this also, when you're on doing video, you're going to have to wear more color. on your lips, you know, you're going to have to wear more color, and you're going to need to watch out for lighting. So it's going to be more technical from that sense, and you can set all that up in advance. And in person, you know, we're gonna really just look for the flat, the, you know, the level of the event that we're going to. What are other people going to be wearing? What is the tone? Is it going to be a super elegant event, or is it going to be kind of a more business casual? And then we just kind of want to make sure we kind of fit in with that while still being our most beautiful, attractive self. But you know, I especially think people miss it when with the shoes. I think sometimes they go way too high in the shoes and they're clunking around looking ridiculous. You know, if you can't walk in shoes, don't wear them. Buy shoes you can wear that are comfortable and you can walk in and you can be undistracted even if you're standing on stage. And I can help you find really great shoes, so they're perfect for all those things. So that's something to keep in mind. So the amount of color that you wear when you're in person is probably going to be a little bit, you know, depending on the event. But like I said, for private meetings, we just kind of want to make it gentle on the eye, you know. And then if we're going to be on stage, yes, we can wear the fake lashes and the hat and the big hair and the red lipstick and the whatever. But if we're really trying to create a connection with another person, then we want to be softer. We want to be more feminine. If we're on stage, maybe we want to be a little bit more assertive. Maybe wear a little bit more red or purple or gold, where we're really, you know, selling like our excellence, our authority, right? So anyway, that's a whole different brand conversation. But the other thing that I did, I knew I forgot something for the first video, is lighting. So you can see there, you see a little bit of this, and a lot of women, we don't love that. So you can play with how high you go. I have a little tripod here. With how high you go on your tripod, you know, it's you kind of want it eye level up a little bit. And I probably could have gone a little bit higher, but I did want to show you, this is kind of the line for me. Like, to me, that there's a little too much of this that I'm seeing. So let me just show you. If we lift our camera, oops, that's not the right thing. Okay, if we just lift it up, okay, I'm gonna just show you 1 inch higher. Kind of is the same. I don't really notice a difference. So about 1 inch higher, and then let me just turn it, tilt it slightly. See now I'd want to lift it so that basically it's about a lot of tweaking. I'm going to lift it another couple inches. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's probably better. That really changes things, doesn't it? The tone. So basically, when you're talking about your video image or your online image, I want you to feel free to experiment. Take your time and give yourself different days. It's about 2 p.m. right here, which is, you know, just basically a really good time for me. But, you know, experiment. And the other thing is, you know, sometimes you can do videos in your car. I've done plenty in my car, because sometimes when you're out and about, that's the only quiet place you're going to be able to find. I'm at home right now, so it is quiet. So I try to do most of my videos from this point. So just find something that's comfortable for you. But I want you to understand that practice does not make perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect, right? But practice makes poise, where we feel like, oh, I feel good about this. I've got my soft little pillow here, and you can see my necklace now because I changed the ankle. I like this angle better. And then the other thing is, if you can once you get it to where you like it, if you have a big enough house and you could leave something the way that you have it set up, that is obviously ideal. In my house, that is not going to happen. But if you can create a little studio for yourself, that's really fun. And then you can really get the background just right and placed just right, and have your microphone, your boom mic set up and the whole thing. And that, you know, that would be the ideal. But the main thing I want to leave you with is the thought that when we're coming into a space of love and serving people and getting our message out in the world, and we're loving ourselves, the most important thing is your energy. All of this stuff is lovely to do it right, and the makeup and the hair and the It's all, fun, and art is important, and aesthetics is so important for me, especially color, the whole thing, lighting. But you have to remember that your spirit, your soul, is really what that person, that perfect client of yours, is really wanting. That juicy, yummy part of you in your soul, that is the most important and critical thing that they are wanting from you. So let's focus on getting that, the energetic piece of who you are, your soul, coming through easily, and finding a way, maybe with all of this, the aesthetics, that matches your soul so that you can be seen for your brilliance. So Celine, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your Love Yourself project, and I hope that this has blessed someone today. And again, if you need any support, please feel free to reach out. I do have a 20-minute free consult, and then I have other little sessions that you can choose if you would like. And so have a beautiful day. And today is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, and have a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.